Hey, what's up, you guys? It is Tuesday, so you already know what it is. It is Sex Talk with T. Graye, and I am your host, T. Graye. Welcome right here on WEMS Radio. I'm sorry for the little bit of late start. You guys have a little technical difficulties around here. Okay, we had to get our shit together just a little bit before we get started, but you already know I have fantastic guests in the building. I hope you enjoy the conversation. I hope you all tune in, chime in, and ask some fantastic questions. We're going to have a good time, you guys. I have from the new reality series, Wifed Up, I have the Coles. Come on in.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey. Welcome. So, Mr. Coles, you want to introduce your beautiful wives to us?
Oh, sure. Right here on your left and my right, Jasmine. And right here on my left and your right, Alicia.
How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you all for joining me. You guys, tonight we're diving into polygamy. And we're diving into it not only from the aspect of the dynamic of the relationship, but it being a part of Black culture. Because I feel like this is not something that we see as much as it really is, as it really is, or as it really exists, or really having the conversation. So let's go ahead and just jump right in, because so do we flip coins on who gets the most dick in this dynamic? Is there a coin toss going on?
But first, let me explain with polygamy. There's different styles of polygamy. There's closed triads, there's open triads, there's polygamy as itself, which is multiple spouses or multiple partners. There's polygyny, which we represent. Polygyny is a man with multiple wives. And there's polyandry, a woman with multiple husbands. All right. So, and our dynamic is a closed triad.
What does that mean? That means that it's just the three of you and you won't accept any other wives?
Right.
Okay.
Not that can't be an option if another wife was to come into the picture, but for right now it's just the three Migos.
So, take us through, I guess, just a little bit. I'm trying to think of the best way to frame this. Because you had one wife and then you got divorced. And then who was the next wife?
Alicia.
Yep.
So what was that discussion when he says, hey, this is the lifestyle that I would like for us to live? Is this something that you come into the door like, okay, I'm with it? Or was this like a gradual something that you had to get used to?
Let me let you in on a little secret. She introduced me to the lifestyle.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So what was it about this that appealed to you, especially as it refers to your sexual lifestyle? Was there a change? Is this now a bonus? Is this now like how does it as a woman, and as I guess being the first wife now in this dynamic, how does it work for you, or what was it that were the pros and cons going into this dynamic?
Well, first of all, I wanted somebody I can relate to as far as being a woman was concerned with children. And I got that from Jasmine. I love that about her. When I first met her, I saw that she was an excellent mother to her children. That was a plus for me. And her friendship. She was an excellent friend. It was easy to talk to her.
And what about you, Jasmine? When you came into the dynamic, how did you think everything was going to flow? And has it turned out whatever your expectation was?
Where do I start? Well, let's just start with the fact that I did not like him when I first met him.
I was like, oh, he's a player. I ain't got time for this. Been there, done that, you know. And I know a lot of people would say that was kind of funny coming from somebody like me. At the time when I met him, I was just becoming into the adulthood, meaning I was just reaching the drinking age. So, you know, you be out living your life, partying. Why you know get caught up in itself? And I'm like, I mean, I was very mature for my age, being that I was a mother of two at the time, so I had no choice but to grow and mature. So when I met Alicia, it was like an instant connection, you know, and you don't run into a lot of people where you're like, oh, I can vibe with this person, like, okay. And yeah, we had a lot of differences, but again, what is so grounded and as you may say, opposites attract. But liked her different. She lied. And then him, when it came to him, it was just like, boy, bye. Like, you know, I wouldn't give him the time of the day at all. Like, you know, he'll try to, you know, flirt and say nice things. I'm like, yeah, okay, keep moving. Like, you're married. I don't do that. But then, you know, as time went on, the relationship grew stronger. Okay, maybe I get this a try. And as you can see, here we are 12 years later. So.
Oh, wow. It's been 12 years.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 12 years. Yep, it's going on 12 years this September.
Right.
We'll make 12 years. August for Alicia and I.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's
So
amazing.
this is grounded. This is grounded. It ain't just sex. Sex is a perk, but it ain't just sex.
Listen, and so I think that's kind of also what I wanted to get into because people, society, whatever, we have all these notions, we have all these assumptions of what it really is when you're in this dynamic. And I'm sure you've come across people who say, oh, he's just selfish. Oh, it's all about him. Oh, you know, I'm sure you've had that experience where people meet you with that type of
But it's just the
negativity.
opposite. It's just
Right,
the opposite.
right.
These are my wives, the mother of my children, my queens. I cater to them. You know what I mean? My first and foremost is my family, period. You know what I mean? So I take the self out of it. Although I wrote a book on self-love called I Matter. I Matter is just basically living your truth, the truth who you are unapologetically. So this is what we do. We live our truth and what makes us happy because we matter first. They matter. She matters to her first. She matters to her first. Each individual child matters to them first and their own individual happiness. And if this makes you happy, so be it. Let's do it. If it no longer serves you, you know, you're free to move on. And I will not treat you any different because there was a time period where she had enough in the very beginning. And she was like, no, you know what? I'm leaving. I can't do this. But I didn't change a beat. I still treated her like she was my wife, even though she had moved on for a minute. I still took care of my children. I didn't get animosity in my heart and treat her a different kind of way because she wasn't in the picture, so to speak. You know what I mean? And after a while, she's like, you know what? There was more love here than it was anywhere else. So she came back. You know, and we went through counseling and everything. It wasn't just a, you know, easy fix all. You know what I mean? We went through counseling and stuff like that. And that's the part that people don't see. You know what I mean? The part people don't see is some of the trials that we went through to get to where we are today. A lot of people, you know, talk negative, but just as many talk positive. There's people in her inboxes. How do you do it? I want to learn. I'm in this situation, or my man has another woman, or my man wants another woman. There's people that come to me and say, hey, how do you do this? You know, I want to do it right when I do it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a player. So a lot of people look up to us in this dynamic, wanting the same thing because they see how happy we are. But they see the happy times. That's all we really show. Until you see the TV show, you see some drama.
Yeah.
Because it ain't always peaches and cream.
Of course.
But as any relationship go, yeah, you're going to have ups and downs. But how we handle it, because there's love first and foremost, you know, we handle it in love. So we have our moments, we go through it, and then we come back and we talk about it. Communication. But not just communication is the key, also comprehension, understanding each other.
Amen. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So when it does come to the bedroom, do you all operate on a certain set of rules? How do you function having two wives? Like, Me for real, if I had two husbands, I'd be tired. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't think I have enough pussy for that. I'd be tired.
Right.
Oh, this is the show we on. Okay, I'm ready.
I really don't. I really don't. But how does that work for you? Clearly, it's a benefit as a man, but is there a schedule? Is there a process? Is there ever I guess a pull and or tug where one person needs or wants you more or vice versa? Like, how do you operate that dynamic as a man?
I think we just go with the flow.
Yeah, we go with the flow. But for the men looking, it's not.
It's not.
It could be overrated. From men looking at this situation, thinking, "Oh, you got it." It could be overrated. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Sometimes it could be a bit much. I get tired. You know what I mean? Sometimes, because it could be a lot. I can get worn out sometimes, and sometimes I'm just tired, and I may not perform well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they got to deal with that part sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes I do perform well. I'm like on point, but it's like I said, it's overrated. Somebody looking in from the window, from the outside window looking in, they think it's just the best life ever. But remember, I'm dealing with two women, so I'm dealing with two separate different attitudes at times. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with two different sex driving times. You know what I mean? It's sometimes, like I might want Jazz, but I gotta get Alicia because Jazz is unable to perform. You know what I mean? Because it could be that time of the month. And vice versa. Sometimes I could want both, but one can't function. You know what I mean? It all depends. We have no
and there's
method to our madness.
Schedule or nothing.
Yeah, no set schedule.
Like, I mean, if we express, hey, I want something tonight or something, then it's like, okay, well, I'm the one that always asks, hey, are you to already have something planned? Because so I don't want to half-ass shit. Like, I need the whole package. So if you're gonna be busy, I'll wait till tomorrow or something. That way, I know I'm not getting half. I can't do that.
That's half true. Because sometimes she ripped my clothes off.
No. I'm talking about if you're already doing something with her. Like, pay attention. Keep up. Keep up, sir. See, that's the problem. He won't keep up.
She damn sure make it know.
But Jack Rabbit, he won't keep up.
I see. So, Alicia, let me ask you this.
Listen, so sometimes I am the one. I have to come multiple times, okay? Yeah. And if I don't, I'm pissed.
We could finish, and she just had the best.
Listen, I'm right here. I'm right here with you.
Okay. So
after I think I'm done, she like, can you do it again?
One more time. Let's go.
I'm like, damn, we just did it 3 times. You just came like 7 times.
I'm not done.
7 is really not a high number.
If I ain't done, you ain't done.
Well, you know what they say.
I'm the one and done.
And you know what they say.
Sometimes it happens twice.
If she's still up after you're done fucking, that means you got more fucking to do.
Yeah. There it is. So, Alicia, let me ask you, because this has been 12 years strong. I'm sure you had a healthy sex life prior to this. What have you learned about yourself sexually in the past 12 years being in this dynamic? What's the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself?
She a freak.
Yes, I'm a super freak. Yes. I have learned that it's okay to do certain things in the bedroom.
Right. You're with your spouse. Yeah.
If you both agree to it.
Yeah, I was just about to say that they say something like that in the Bible, you guys, as long as you and your spouse agree.
Right.
It's free reign. The bedroom is undefiled.
With you being uninhibited now, did your inhibitions come from something like religion or upbringing, or was it just your own way of thinking?
It was my own way of thinking. I didn't think it was okay to do certain things.
And a lot of things she was shy on. She wouldn't say, but I kept talking to her and communicating, saying, hey, communicate with me. If I'm not doing something right, tell me, because everybody's body is different. What she likes, she may not like.
Right.
Right. So if I'm doing something or what I think you might like, you may not like. You know what I mean? So if I'm in the wrong spot, put me in the right spot. Tell me where the right spot is. You know what I mean? Or I'll go searching and investigate, but you let me know when I hit it.
So what about you, Jazz? In the past 12 years, what have you learned about yourself sexually within this dynamic?
I don't think. I think what I learned was he's nasty. I learned that, he got 27 kids, so he's just nasty all the way
That
around.
don't necessarily mean nasty. That just means that pull-out game is some trash.
Yeah, I mean, it's that.
Wait a minute. When she said my pull-out game was trash.
No,
I'm just joking.
I got a driveway though, so
I'm just joking.
Don't have me as a getaway driver, okay? Listen.
And
a lot of them was planned though. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
a lot of them was
No,
planned.
I get it.
You know what I mean? Because like right now, she wants twins.
I do.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, that's why I learned he's nasty. I told you, he's nice. But for me personally, I was, when I first got with him, I was like, I don't do that. Like, who, only whores or something do that. Like, in my mind, because I was young and I'm thinking, oh, that's nasty, because I was raised by my father and he was like, girls don't, real women don't do this or do that, unless you're with, your husband or something. Like, don't give it up to everybody, that type of thing. So when I met him, I was like, I'm not doing this. I don't know who you think I am, but wrong one. But me being an Aquarius and then he's an Aquarius, it just, there you go. Like, it's instant. Like, I don't really have to say much. He kind of knows what to do now. There'll be times he's surprised. Yeah, I say now.
I knew what to do in the beginning.
Listen, no. So wait a minute.
Okay. Let's be real.
Like, there'll be times like I'm like, okay, like I'm waiting for him to make a move on certain things. So I'm thinking he's capturing by the eyes. Like, I'm giving him the look. And he's just like not picking up, and it's like I gotta stand there with the 2-6. The people that be at the airports waving a stick.
Yes.
I gotta be like, "Hello, this way, sir, this way."
Yeah.
But
I get it,
and I gotta understand that sometimes he's catering to her wants and her needs, so he's gonna have to. Okay, I now focus on Jazz and me. So I gotta be mindful of that at times. But I'm one of those. I'm like, you better know me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, most definitely. Gotta know my body inside and out. So, for your future, sir, you've had these 27 children. You've had these wives. Like, what do you see next? What would you like your next 5 years to be? You guys are working on twins and everything else. Do you want more children? Do you want another wife? Like, what do you see coming for you in the next 5 to 10 years or so?
I think we're just focusing on my family and our businesses. We have multiple businesses, and one of the things that I'm trying to instill in the kids, I don't want them to become workers. I want them to become bosses. For the most part, is working with the older children. I have a daughter who got her own hair salon. I have a daughter who got her own culinary business. I have a son who has his own transportation business. You know what I mean? I have a daughter now working on. She's in management, but she's working on becoming an entrepreneur herself. I wrote a book. I act in movies. I do, multiple things. There's multiple streams of income. That's the only way it's going to work. Yeah. But I do that because I'm trying to get things to run Charlie automatic so I can get my time freedom. Because one of the things I learned in fatherhood is sometimes I don't have enough time to do all the things I want to do with them. I might do all the things I need to do with them, but I'm not doing all the things I want to do with them. So as a family, I want to be able to wake up in the morning and say, you know what y'all want to do today? Y'all want to go to the beach? Y'all want to go to Kings Dominion? Y'all want to go, wherever we just go, and not have to worry about money because everything is running Charlie automatic. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I'm focused on now, the entrepreneurship and increasing revenue for the business that we have. And making them be a part of it, because even some of the younger children now are working under me. You know what I mean? Talented. But I want them to end up having their own and take a branch and go off and do it and make that their stream of income, so they can be have time freedom for their family.
Yeah, most definitely. So we are here, you guys, on Sex Talk with T. Graye. I have the Coles family on from the reality show Wiped Up. We are talking polygamy. We are talking how this dynamic works. And hey, sometimes it might not. We don't know. But we gotta wait for the show to come out and see. Um, So on here, you guys, for 2022, we are doing our sexual bucket list. And you would think having two wives, you probably done everything under the sun. I'm gonna go ahead and assume. But if you could put a couple of things on your sexual bucket list, what would they be?
Y'all want to go first, or y'all want me to go? Because I'm nasty.
Come on, Nancy, come on with it.
Go ahead.
I wanna not just have the drink, but I want to actually do it. Have sex on the beach.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. That's not nasty.
Yes, I don't care.
Look, I thought you was about to get off the chain. I was like, hold on, wait a minute.
I think I've done all that kind of nasty stuff. I mean, yeah, we've been there, done that. I think.
Ain't nothing like a little sand up your ass to know you're doing a good job.
Now you gotta lay the right blankets down. You gotta lay the right blankets down.
I'm
a private
type of person.
I ain't saying the sand. I don't want to eat sand. You know.
It may not hurt to try, but at the same time, I'm a very private person. Like, this ain't for everybody to look at and see.
See, I don't care who's watching.
That's just me. Yeah.
It doesn't matter because I'm okay with.
I mean, I like my body what I look like.
I'm okay with it.
This ain't for everybody's eyes now.
So what about you, Elise? If you could put something on your sexual bucket list, something you definitely want to do before you get up out of here, what would it be?
Sex in an airplane.
Okay. Okay, come on, small spaces.
That's funny because you was scared to fly.
I was afraid to get on an airplane.
That's funny. Listen, you can conquer those fears together. Like, let me get on this plane, but if I get on, goddamn it, I gotta get something. That has to be.
Try a roller coaster, but he won't do that.
Oh hell no!
See, he won't try.
Because how you going to do that in a roller coaster?
Well, the little ones that just ride away with it. Come on now. You talking about on the beaches? The water flying. You
can barely lock me in with my stomach.
When you talking about on the beach and stuff, you'll be right there on the beach with the sand, and then the water, a wave just come and attack you and take you out to sea.
I have thought about, if not sex on the beach, I have thought about going to one of them sex clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But only engaging with each other.
Okay.
Unless y'all decide something different while we're in there.
I don't know.
I mean, alone, you know.
I don't trust everybody. I don't know about that.
You don't know about that? That's definitely different. And it's one of those things, to be honest with you guys, like I would want to go. I would just want to.
I want to see what the vibe is. I want to see what's going on. The vibe and see what it's like, but
and just get drunk
with other people
and just get drunk and blame it on the alcohol. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Most definitely. So I have the sexual bucket list, one, because we've all survived a pandemic. And if we're all still here, I feel like we should definitely be having the best sex of our lives. But then also as a tool for intimacy exercises. I know a lot of people, you guys think that intimacy is just sex, but it's not. Intimacy is so much deeper than that, so much bigger than that. But in having this bucket list and having these things that you want to check off with your partner is a great intimacy exercise. It's a great way to learn new things about yourself. It's a great way to push your limits. Even if you think that you're here, it's always a way to take it up a notch because sex evolves, it changes, it grows. There's always something new to do, to try, to see. So for 2022, that's what I'm pushing for people. I want them to start, taking accountability for their own experiences and building their intimacy with their partners. So I'm glad that you all at least have something in mind that you want to do. Make sure y'all live that shit out. If you plan it right, it can all happen in the same week. Plan it right. You know what I'm saying? Get you fly to an island. Go to the sex joint on the island and fuck on the beach.
See, there you go.
All in one. There you go. Everybody got them right there. There you go.
Yeah, it can all come together. So, when it comes to being able to be satisfied. Michael, do you ever, and because of course you're a man, you're going to have good days, bad days like anybody else. We're all human. But do you ever say to yourself, one day I might be at an age where I can't satisfy, or do you ever think about that, or do you consider what would happen, or what would the dynamic change if you ever got to that point?
I have thought about it actually. But I don't know, because a lot of men in my family are like still up in their 70s and 80s, still rocking, Okay. But if I ever got to that point, like I said, love is what this is foundational, the rock that this stand on. Love, period. And because I love them, I would still want them to be satisfied. So if I couldn't do it no more, then sex is not a relationship. A lot of people try to make it a relationship, and that's why their relationships fail, because they based it all on sex. So if they need to get pleased, whether it's themselves or having to go to somebody else, if we had that conversation, then I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Because it's first and foremost the honesty. You know what I mean? And that's why you can trust it. But if sex pulls you away and takes you to somebody else to be with them in a relationship, then there was never love here. And I don't own them. Let's get that first and foremost. I don't own them. I don't own their bodies. They do. And remember, we say I matter first. You know what I mean? Your own happiness matters first. So if I no longer do it for you, that'll be a part of the relationship that you're unhappy in. And I don't want you unhappy and dissatisfied. I will do everything I can. If I got to go to a doctor, get some Viagra pills, or, you know what I mean? Get a shot in my dick or something, you know what I mean?
Oh, Lord.
Whatever,
And them shots is expensive.
If it don't get up no more and I got to go get a damn strap on.
Oh, my.
I hear they have some that's real like.
I'm about to say, I like the real thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
But, I mean, right now, I can't even think that far for real, because this one make me go 7-8 times in the night. So
he's good, ladies and gentlemen.
I salute you, bro.
You better be, look, you chose me, so you better keep up with me. I'm just saying, don't go picking in the garden if you don't really like.
You chose me too. Remember,
listen,
you raped me. The first time we ever had sex.
That story.
The first time we ever had sex.
Let me just get this straight for the record.
All I did was tell her good night, and she grabbed me, pulled me in the room.
No, we're not gonna.
She grabbed me and pulled me. Tell the truth. And shame the devil.
I am shaming them, and you right now.
Pull me in the room and pull me on top of her.
For the record.
And it was over. Okay. I was like, oh, this is what we doing? Okay.
Look at me and look at him.
Tell the truth.
Come on now. Look at my size and look at his size.
Sing that song. You see right through.
I'm not Nikki today. I'm from the same place as her. We both from New York, Queensland, but I am not her
so
today.
She knows.
So we're not doing it.
Hey,
look at me and look at him, and y'all make the decision on who did what.
Who you think telling the truth?
Who impregnated me?
Who you think telling the truth?
Listen, I'm going to be
wearing the dick?
Don't plead the fifth.
I'm gonna be neutral on this because on one hand, I can see her level of aggression just in this interview.
I am aggressive now. Listen, I will say, how about this?
Did you see that video?
No.
Did you see that video?
I don't know.
On my Instagram? Did you see the video on my Instagram? When she was going to work on me?
He was not trying to give it up, so I took it from him then. Yes, yes, I did. But in the beginning, I did not.
In a court of law, you might seem guilty, Jazz.
Right. I am. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I take all the charges. I did. It was me.
Tell the truth.
She said he's telling the truth.
I am telling the truth.
Glasses on now. You know he's
playing hard to get with me. He wants me to come after him. And then when I do, he'd be like, "No, I was just kidding. No, don't do all that." And then
I don't. She's trying to make me feel like a bitch sometimes. Okay. Okay, let's get it straight. I'll be like, "Yo, chill out."
Oh my
Pump your
I
brakes.
can't help that I'm an aggressive someone.
I was like, lay down and wait for me to come on to you. She's like, nigga, you take too long.
He do.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
ain't nobody got time for that slow
if
shit.
I'm in the mood and you're in the mood, why are we just laying here? Let's get to it. What are we waiting for? The bell to be rung? Like, this ain't a wrestling match. Come on with it.
I swear, me and Jazzy is kindred spirits. Kindred spirits. So
I have to bring my Spanish side out on him. Like, come on, Poppy, let's go. Like, get under, let's go, move. And he's like, all right.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
see, you know, exactly.
And when she's doing that, at least she'll be like, I ain't in it. I'm out.
I'll be asking her to be the ref. She's like, I'm not doing this match with y'all. I'm not doing this. I'm not that.
So, Alicia, before we go, what would you like for everybody to walk away with when they see you all, when they see your family, when they see your dynamic? What do you think is most important for people to walk away with when they see you all? What do you want to leave with the audience?
I want them to learn how to cooperate in a situation like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody talk to each other, learn how to relate to one another without arguing and fighting, because there are situations that aren't working out there, but this one is not one that's, you know, doing that.
Yeah.
Just learn how to cooperate naturally with one another. Pray that you know, you can actually get along with each other.
Yeah.
And learn that jealousy is an okay emotion.
Yes, it is. It
you
really
know what I mean?
is.
It's okay to get jealous sometimes.
It's hard to get through.
We've
sometimes.
been dealing with that for years, and we've learned to cope and deal with that.
I get jealous sometimes.
You know, a lot of people think that, you know, because she's the first wife, that, oh, you know, I kind of like get the back burners to a lot of stuff, or oh, you're just there when he can't do anything with her. Like, I've heard it all, you know. But that's not the case. That really isn't. Like, she actually wanted this, you know, and the fact that, you know, he was open to it, because happy wife, happy life. So if it's something she wanted and he's willing to give her that, and then, you know, he's willing to take on having another wife to deal with, which was me, and carry on the responsibility of us two, along with children, you know, that's a lot for one to deal with. So everybody has to be respectful of each other's feelings, concerns, and whatnot, because there are times when, you know, I get jealous. Like, they can go out and I'm like, damn, I wanted to go, but I ain't say nothing because, okay, I know they having their time. I'm gonna get my time. So, you know, you gotta flip it on the positive side. Okay, but you know what? We did just go out a couple days ago, and they, you know, she didn't get to go. So let me sit this one out, because, you know, you have to think that way. You can't be like, oh my God, he already going out with her, and I'm sitting here looking stupid. Like, no, I mean, you gotta think positive, because it's not like you don't get your time, right? You know, and he's one man. You know, if he could split himself up, I'm sure he would. But you know, you can't be in two places at one time.
And I think what's helped it to last so long is because there is a separation sometimes, so we do get a chance to miss each other. You know what I mean? When you in each other's face every day, all day, crowd each other's space,
you start getting annoyed.
Sometimes getting annoyed with each other or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's been working for the most part, because we do get a chance to miss each other. Now we'll piggyback off Jasmine. In the beginning, I didn't want it. When she first said that she wanted a sister, I was like, you know what? You know, because when I was with my ex-wife, she came into the picture. It was that for years. I was like, let it just be me and you now. You know what I mean? Because I know what I went through in that relationship, because the ex-wife wasn't rocking with it. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of, although we was all together and lived all together, there was a lot of back and forth. You know what I mean? And it became toxic, very toxic. To now be in this dynamic, you know, for almost 12 years, and to have the love. I'm not saying it's not the problem, like we said at the beginning. Some problems do come along, as in any relationship, but the love overshadows it. Because me and her, we could be mad. We were mad at each other yesterday and this morning. You know what I mean? We had to get ourselves right before this interview.
I was going through my
you know, but it starts. Somebody got to break the ice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because there's love there, we both end up breaking the ice sometimes. And she even said, she said yesterday, she's like, did you make up with Jasmine yet? Like, y'all need to make up. And I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, she's always the voice of reason in any situation. Sometimes I'm like, you get on my nerves. You just gotta be right on time. Just be quiet. Let me have an attitude the rest of my day. Like, let me be a bitch today.
It works. It works.
Now, I do have a question that I want to know, because I don't know if this plays a part. And this question is about race, because you see more of the non-melanated sister wives. You see more of that, whether it's in the news, it's on TV, it's on social media. You see that, and you see that dynamic being played up, as something status quo, especially in a lot of different areas, typically more so in the Mormon community than anything else. But you see it being played up as, this
It's
fabulous thing. Do you ever think that because you're African American, that your reception is different than what you see already from other people on TV?
It's definitely different.
Oh yeah,
definitely
we know it's a difference.
We've experienced it firsthand. It's almost systemic racism.
Yeah.
Because when white people, let's call it what it is. When white people, Caucasian do it, or other nationalities do it, it's all praise. Okay. It's praise. You know what I mean? You see Sister Wives, and like we was pitched to the same station that Sister Wives was on by the same production company.
Yep.
And TLC wasn't rocking with this black family about to come out, making this guy look like, like they're not supposed to be doing this. You know what I mean? And then to have children, and then what took our reality show so long to come out is because they wanted to show it in a negative light.
Right.
You know what I mean? They wanted all the drama. They wanted to be a lot of problems. They wanted to look chaotic. And when you come into my home, it can be a bit chaotic sometimes with the kids being kids, but it's peaceful. There's people that come into our home and like, it's not 18 kids in here. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Ain't no way. It's quiet as I don't know what. It's quiet as hell. Where they at? Sometimes they be all in their own little world doing what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Technology.
But then sometimes they're in the living room with the music blasting, dancing, and all that kind of stuff, But they wasn't ready to show this family in that light, because it would have showed a positive black family in polygyny, and what kind of message would that send out to the black community? Because the one thing people don't know, they look at the sex part and get excited and sad about it and think it's all that, but deep down inside, the world knows working together like this economically put you in a different place.
Yeah.
And then even though we got 27 kids, still economically, it puts us in a different place of all three of us working together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being on one accord. And with the 27 kids and entrepreneurship, helping create wealth, they don't want to see that. Ain't no way. The TV show will take us to another level, and they ain't ready for that.
I think that's the problem. Society has their own mindset and their own vision of how a black family should look and how they should act and dress, how they should appear, their style, what their frame of thinking. And that's the problem. Instead of being that way, being so judgmental, why don't you just have an open mind to it? Because you will want us to have an open mind to your relationships and how you guys deal with your household, your family, how you guys run, your careers and everything. You want us to be open to that. So why not give us the same respect? Right. And that's all we're asking.
Or who sets the tone to say what's right and wrong?
Right.
Because I mean, even I've had preachers come to me and tell me that I'm living in sin. And I said, well, prove it to me. And they pull out the scriptures. Or you committing adultery. I said, well, prove it to me. It says it right here. Read. It says, if a man leave his wife and marry another, he has committed adultery.
You didn't leave your wife.
I was like, well, what's the and? The and is a conjunction that puts two or more things together. I didn't leave her.
custodian.
Okay, so explain to me Solomon.
Yeah.
Explain to me the most righteous men in the Bible had multiple wives.
Let's be real. Some of these pastors, you're married, have a wife, but you have mistresses and other women, and
Yep.
so
We could be on here talking about pastors all day.
Okay.
Because I had a discussion with somebody, and I don't mean to jump off topic, but just real quick. A lot of pastors, especially Black churches, there's so many things that they never preach from their pulpit because this is their life. This is what they've done. This is whatever.
Absolutely.
So if I'm going to use the Bible, if I'm going to use the scripture as a ways of explaining to you this is how you should live, but I know I didn't live like this and I know I don't live like this, I'm just going to selectively pick and choose what I decide to tell you. I'm just going to leave some shit out. Well, if you leaving some shit out, then you just a regular nigga like me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I don't need you, sir. You know what I mean? I could go through this book and pick out what I want to on whatever day it is myself.
Right.
And I think that it's just so hypocritical. When you could tell me, oh, I'm wrong here. Well, on the next page, I'm right. In the Old Testament, I'm wrong. New Testament say I'm good.
Well, see, that's what people get mixed up too. That Old Testament and New Testament. So Matthew 5:17, Jesus said, "Think not that I come to change the laws, which was in the Old Testament, or the prophets, which was in the Old Testament. I come not to change, but to fulfill." In the Old Testament, you said I was coming. You said I was going to do this. I came. Now I'm going.
Yeah.
So, not to bash any pastors. Don't be getting on my timeline and trying to get.
And don't hop on mine neither, because I'll tell you about yourself and then pray for you at the same time.
I can roll with it. Don't get me twisted. I can roll with it. I'm well versed. You know what I mean?
But it's very true, especially if I want to point a hypocritical finger at you. You know, here's where you're wrong. Here's what you six in one hand, half dozen in the other. But like you said, and like you have committed, during this entire interview, is that the love matters. Forget the rest of it. You know what I mean? End of the day. That's all that
the plus. Don't hate me.
Yeah. So this has been fantastic. I'm absolutely honored to have had you all on. I wish I could have came and did this in person because you all are not that far from me. And I'm like, dang, I should have worked that out. But
where you at?
I'm in Maryland.
What?
Oh wow!
We're on the way.
We could have did this in person.
We bring you some drinks. We on the way.
We got to do another one. That's all.
Yeah, and I'm not far from the line. I could have came.
Yeah,
my bad.
We ain't gonna tell everybody our address, but we get it. You in the DMV. We all in the DMV.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm glad I've had you all on. This has been very, very refreshing. I have a lot of people who follow me who ask me about the lifestyle. I'm like, you don't never talk about it. I got the perfect people. Goddamn, you just wait. You know what I mean? To have had you all on. I look forward to your show. I look forward to you all growing and definitely showing the world that there's a different side to it, especially as it comes to Black people living this lifestyle, that it can be accomplished. It's not necessarily taboo. It's not something to look down upon. Right. And that you all are human. You know what I mean? You go through the same trials and tribulations. And, I appreciate you all taking the time.
Thank you. And let me say this about Wifed Up. Because we just walked away from the table from a deal with a major network because they was trying to take away the producer credit. And this is some of the things that we face in this industry. And they said it's unheard of to give you a producer credit. And I took that as because I'm Black. Because you gave Kate plus 8, you gave Kate a producer credit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I have a problem with. I'm not giving they didn't come to us with the idea of a show. We were already shopping a show. You know? So now we're kind of doing it ourselves. We're in talks with 2 major networks again. Or one major platform. Another is a network. So we're going to see what happens. So if there's a network watching right now, inbox us if you're interested. Because it's going to sell and it's going to go because the community and the Black community is very relevant. As much people don't know that it is, it's very relevant. More than you know. and
Yeah.
more people are coming out.
Of course.
You know, we think that we was maybe one of the first ones that come out publicly to talk about it because it's so shunned. You know what I mean? Especially to the males. You would think that a lot of males down for it, but there's a lot of males. I'm gonna call them haters. That's what they are. You know what I mean? That talk negative against it because they don't understand it. So, if anything in life, if you don't understand it, learn about it first before you speak on it. You know what I mean? Do yourself that justice. Just learn about it first before you speak on it and give an opinion. Because you know, like they said, when Donald Trump won, people didn't think it was that many people in the world that liked Donald Trump because you were in a closed network that didn't. You didn't realize all the people that are into it.
Yep.
Same thing with polygyny and polygamy. Because you're against it, you don't know how many people are for it. There's people living in secret in it. You know, your Uncle Earl, when he died, you found out he had 2 families.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That didn't know about each other.
Right.
There's one person that I know, and she was a lieutenant on the police agency, and she was in the dynamic. She was the other woman, and she knew about the wife, and she talked about how she wished that she could be like this, where the wife would know about her, because she got to go on vacations by herself. She got 2 kids by this man, and you know they don't get to spend holidays with him. You know what I mean?
Wow.
They go on vacation, she go by herself. Yeah, he's sugar daddy and her, giving her the money to go. You know, taking care of her bills and different things like that. But
he's not physically there.
He's not physically there,
Yeah.
like she wants him to be. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's one thing my books teaches is how to live your truth unapologetically. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people think, "Oh, I'm not buying that book. I matter." It's not about how to manage 2 wives in your family. Right. It's well, your family it is, but it's not about how to get 2 wives or man. It's just about living your truth unapologetically and steps to do to make you happy individually.
Yeah.
There are some marriage tips because we go through a lot, and I've learned a lot. You know what I mean? I've learned a lot being in this dynamic of different personalities, different attitudes. You know what I mean? Different needs, different wants, and how to cater to that. And I also learned with the children, there's tips on parenting.
Yeah.
I learned a lot with my children. You know what I mean? They taught me a lot. And that's all because of communication, but not just communication, comprehension. Because somebody can communicate to you all day long. If you don't understand what they're saying, or you can't relate to what they're saying, or you can't put yourself in their shoes, it don't even matter. You know, it's just talking after that. You know what I mean? You're not hearing. You're listening, but you're not hearing. You know? So it gives.
You don't always have to agree with what they're saying, but just have the respect enough to understand where they're coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big thing too. You know, a lot of people think, "Oh, I have to agree." No, you don't have to agree, but respectfully understand where I'm coming from and just listen, hear me out, understand, and do what you want after that. But at least you know what I'm speaking of or what I'm trying to get across to you. You're getting the message.
And that's a plus in this relationship too, because there was times that I didn't listen. You know what I mean? And then she would remind me, I'm not listening. You know, then they gang up on me. Now I'm listening. You know what I mean? Now I'm listening. And I'm hearing, and sometimes she would agree with her on some of the things, and she's like, well, yeah, you do that. So I had to check myself, like, damn, do I? But when it was one-on-one, like, I have my
you couldn't hear the same
point. We couldn't. Now I know people say, well, you don't need to be in a multiple relationship to do that. You can go to a therapist. These are my therapists. You know what I'm saying? These are my therapists. They
your checks and balances. Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
And then sometimes me and her right, she wrong, or you know what I mean? Like we have the conversations, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta talk it out.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. So again, I'm so happy to have had you all on. We're going to, on our way out, you guys, we're going to play this sizzle reel. So get y'all excited about what we're waiting and anticipating to see. In the meantime, in between time, make sure that you definitely do follow my guests at The Real Michael. Is it Michael? Is it Michael? I don't want to say your name. Michael, okay, let me make sure I got it right. Yeah, so at The Real Michael, that's with a Y, you guys, KAL. You make sure you get that. Make sure that you support them and follow them. And definitely, we will see you all right here, you guys, on Sex Talk with T. Graye next week. I'll be right back in the building. Get this scissor reel. Get excited. Support their brand. Keep building. Sexual bucket list. See y'all next week. That's it.
Bye. See ya.
List all the kids.
I'm gonna close my eyes because I gotta think. Dayron, Tanisha, Keziah, Michaela, JR, Anthony and Naya, Shasha, Michelle, is Malachi, Yeshaya, Shariah, Diamond, Genesis, Mikey, Prince, Anaya, Sanaa, Kel, Ian, Natalie, Elise, 7, and there's Trey.
Are you done?
Yes.
Over the years, there has been some problems between me, Jasmine, and Alicia that haven't been resolved.
Sometimes there can be a little bit of jealousy between the three of us.
I love her like a sister. Like any relationship that has a sister in it, it's all about how you get through those problems.
Right.
Kids are wonderful, they're great. The adults, on the other hand, the four of us, misunderstanding happens a lot.
He can't give me the attention that I need because he's having to deal with the other two. Sometimes I feel like what's going on with me is on the back burner.
I'm always surrounded by children 24/7, and it gets, how I feel gets buried deep down inside me, and I can't hold it in anymore. I have to say something, and it just comes out of me, it explodes out of me.
Everybody played their part in this. You was wrong, I was wrong, and they was wrong.
Basically, because of the tension between the women, it's like it's a constant division among the families. And that's not what I want. I want one big family. I want us to all come together as one unit.
There's a lot of stuff that has went on in the past that we haven't dealt with that still haven't been discussed.
If she keep on putting herself in my business, I'm gonna punch her in her face.
There's been a lot of hurt, anger, things have been said that, comes out like a bullet out of a gun. You can't take it back. I need to get Alicia and Jasmine in the same house, Takia next door, so that there's interaction, and they'll be forced to get it right. They'll be forced to deal with this. When everybody look at the situation of me having multiple wives, the first thing they think is that these women are docile or timid, or they're not at all. They're the exact opposite of that. I'm dealing with 3 dominant women who always want their way, what they want, when they want it, how they want it. It's definitely a risky move, but I think it'll work. I hope it works.
Because the women don't really communicate that much. A lot of our frustrations and stuff, we tend to take it out on the husband. He's my punching bag.
If I'm doing too much of something for one, the other one might be like, well, hey, hold up. When me and Alicia first got married, we had a private ceremony. I said to her, we can have a bigger wedding later. And she said back to me, yeah, I ain't really worried about that. But then when me and Jasmine started planning and talking about it, she was like, well, we never had ours.
I'll tell him exactly how I want it done, and he does it his own way.
He act like he be listening, but he don't be listening. But he listen when I start cussing, then he listen.
You must be crazy.
My name is Takia, and I'm Michael's ex-wife, and I have 8 children. I'm not a sister wife. I don't do that. I'm selfish. I tell you like it is. I don't care what nobody has to say.
Takia, she's fun, outgoing, crazy.
I'm the original. You know that, right? I'm the first, so I'll always be important. I'll always matter.
Our relationship with Takia is, we're friends. We're not enemies. We get along for the kids.
Me and Mike get along well, very well. I think that may intimidate them maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I'm the third wife. I'm not the second because she's still here.
Maybe they think we're a little too close for me to be his ex.
Why is she calling you this late at night? What is there to talk about? When I call you at night, you're knocked out sleep or you don't hear the phone ringing, but you can answer for her. Like, you heard that phone call,
Do I see me and Michael getting back together? No. Maybe. I don't know. Just a possibility. I mean, we had some slip-ups in the past that they don't know about.
Alicia, she's more reserved, more laid back. There's no arguing, no fighting. Every night that I'm home, she does my feet. Jasmine, I ain't That's a different kind of love. I ain't got that kind of love.
As far as Alicia, she's just always quiet. Well, with me most of the time. I keep a distance sometimes because, you know, I never know when I'm about to walk myself into, and I don't like being put in those kind of situations. Between the three of us, it's supposed to be equal share. Sometimes I feel like I have to fight for my spot. Like I shouldn't have to, you know, walk around with this big old sign that says, I am a wife, you know, hello, pay attention to me. Being the new one, I'm just like, I guess working my way up.
Jasmine is a little snappy. He like feisty.
She's not a morning person. And she's not a late evening person either. You gotta catch her at the right time of the day.
You won't know how I'm feeling today. Like, you don't want to spend today with me, don't come around the rest of the week. I can deal with it. So if I don't get my way, I throw a fit. My house and Alicia's house are 5 minutes apart from each other. As far as the kids coming over and everything, they will walk, skip, hop, whatever, ride the bikes, however, to get to one another.
Our alone time, like say me and Nadia go for a walk. Yeah. We talking trash.
The whole
We talking mad trash. The whole walk, we talking trash about mommy, daddy, anybody under the sun. It's just like what we're venting.
When I first met her, I don't remember not liking her. She was just like there. But as I grew up, I was kind of just like, I don't think I like her.
I don't like.
She's just there.
Because she did certain things that was kind of disrespectful.
Not really disrespectful. It was just like it bothered me because like
like everybody else did.
I don't think you really have any authority over me. You're just here.
Nothing lasts forever. Let's just be together.
There are many people involved in my life that are against my relationship with Michael and Alicia.
Worst one that probably really hurts my mother, but she's embarrassed by it. Not so much as the women as the amount of kids I have.
Well, they thought I was crazy. They thought we had mental problems or something.
It's gotten to the point where I really had to like cut people off, and I never looked back.
With Alicia and Jasmine living in one house and then me living next door, it's gonna be some smoke in the city. I don't know. I can't tell you how that's gonna play out, but it's gonna be some smoke in the city.
I'm a boss, I'm a bitch and a boss, I'm a shine like glow.